I'm so excited to walk you through this video. I want you to watch this at least once or as many times as you need to so that you understand how to best utilize this 90-day goal. We do this in a very specific way. You can read this message, obviously, but I'm just going to break it down for you people who are more like me, who would rather watch a video than read through it, and give you a little bit more detail and context to it. So, first thing is, this is what we call your 90-day goal rush. This is a simple form that you're going to fill out on a weekly basis to track the progress in which you are trying to make. Progress over perfection is great when you can quantify the progress and not just use that as a line to excuse the lack of action. Let me explain what I mean by that. You are going to answer a box for each of the goals you have. You are going to update what's going on. The way I want you to do that is give a percentage towards the goal, right? So if you were at 3 out of 10 and now you're 4 out of 10, you can write it that way. If you want to just go with the percentage towards the accomplished goal, you can put it that way. But I want to focus on a percentage. What I also want you to do is you're going to update how you did this week. Did you use the LP? Did you actually look at the 90-day goal rush? What was your capacity this week? What was your intention this week? Now, these are weird things that we're going to be asking you to figure out and understand. There is no real accurate 100% data-driven answer. These are subjective answers that we're okay with you giving. So answer them the best you can, because what we are looking for is how are you doing on a weekly basis? You see, in the middle of the form, where there's that letter we're sending to you, you'll see where it talks about an impact report. When you fill this 90-day goal rush out, you will have all the information drop into an impact report. That impact report is what we use to track your progress. So when we're doing this on a weekly basis, what we are looking for as a coach is trends. Things that are helping you, things that aren't helping you, things we should start doing, things we should stop doing. It makes it much easier than asking you after 6 weeks, how are things going? We want you just to focus on a week-by-week basis. Here's the way you maximize the likelihood of you accomplishing the goals that we put in place. What I want you to do is go through and focus on the 3 tasks we talk about. There's monthly, there's weekly, there's push. I'm going to tell you about them in the inverse. A push task is not something you have to do every day, but it's something you can do any day. You do not need to schedule a push task. You use a push task to get yourself back on the track. You use a push task to push the ball forward. You don't need to schedule push tasks or make sure you do push tasks if you're doing your monthly and weekly tasks. Your weekly tasks, those are kind of the action steps you're going to take. On a monthly basis, those are the monthly, almost like a review and refines a lot of these goals so you know what you're doing. Because of the way these goals work, the first week of each month, I want you to make sure you do your monthly task. Unless there's a specific reason why not, we find that's the best way to do it. Then on the rest of the weeks, you're going to just do your weekly tasks. And ideally, the push tasks don't have to happen if you're doing your weekly tasks effectively. Here's how you tie this into your digital calendar, which is so helpful. I want you to take your monthly tasks. And whether it's one 20-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute, 90-minute task, 45-minute task, it doesn't matter. Set it up once a month. Let's just say the first of the month for 45 minutes at 9 o'clock. And I want you to schedule that as a repeating task in your calendar for the next 90 days or until your 90-day goal rush is up. I then want you to go to the first weekly task. And maybe that's 2 90-minute time chunks, 6 90-minute time chunks, whatever it might be for what you're doing. And I want you to schedule those out, whether you do 2 of them a day, whether you do 1 every day, whatever it might be. And I want you to schedule them out. Then I want you to go to the second goal and do the same thing. Monthly, first week, the weekly goals. Then you go to the third, monthly, then the weekly goals. Then you go to your internal, your relational, and your physical. Same concept. Here's why we do this. When you're trying to accomplish these goals, we have to do the action. And what I have come to find is that we need to remind ourselves that it is better to move things, but not remove things. Meaning, I want it on a digital calendar with a time chunk so that if you have a meeting and you have to move it, you can just move the time chunk to another time throughout the week. This is what allows you to make sure you're putting the time in towards the task, which is necessary based on the system we built. So, first things first, schedule a time once a week that you are going to update this list. Put it on your Google Calendar. Make sure this link is in the event, or the Outlook calendar, whatever you use, or your Apple calendar. Make sure the link is in the event so you don't have to go back and search for it, and then repeat it over the next 90 days. I then want you to go through and I want you to put your monthly task on a calendar and repeat it over the next 90 days. Then your weekly task, the time chunks over the next 90 days. And as life comes on and random things come in and they add, hey, can we meet at Monday at 9? And you have one of your weekly time chunks put in there. If you don't need to meet, push it to about 10 o'clock. Push it till later on in the week. If you need to meet, you can always move it, but don't remove it. That is how you maximize your 90-day goal rush. You tie it to your digital calendar and you make sure you put the time towards tasks. You do that, you're going to see a much higher likelihood of accomplishing the goals that you set using the tasks that you built in the system we developed for you. Hopefully you enjoy it. Any questions you have, ask the coach. If you need to rewatch this video, don't feel bad about it, but also don't feel you have to watch it every single time you come into this 90-day goal rush. Have a great 90 days. We can't wait to get you reset on the next 90 and celebrate the success of this 90.